You've been tagged as a controversial figure on the internet. What do you have to say about this tagging?
I don't like the word controversial. I despise it. I actually called TVC last week and told them at the internet department to stop using controversial. When I arrived to Nigeria after 40-something years, after 38 years abroad in 2012, they were starting stories by former Governor Olunloyo's daughter, Kemi Olunloyo. I hated it and I told everybody, stop starting your stories with former Governor Olunloyo's daughter. Just say Kemi Olunloyo or international journalist, veteran journalist, 25 years this year that I graduated from broadcast school. But stop putting former governor. Then they changed it to controversial journalist, controversial blogger. So I wrote a post and I said, stop calling me controversial. I called TVC and I told them, don't start any story. Veteran journalist, international journalist. I'm not controversial. America has never called me controversial, nor Canada and my colleagues over there. So stop. I'm not controversial. You're controversial in Nigeria when you tell the truth. That's why they're using the word. Nobody's transparent here.
All right, Ma. You've also shown support for Naira Marley's case with the EFCC. What's your motive and what message do you think this is passing to youth who are involved with cybercrimes and internet fraud?
Okay, I'm supporting the Naira Marley case in an activist form because the youth don't know their civil rights. Many of the youth are concerned about their human rights. There's SARS out there harassing them, another security agency. Now you can add the EFCC to the next security agency harassing youth, okay? Our children are marginalized. Our youth are marginalized, especially males. I was in Port Harcourt prison for 6 months. They're all in there for cultism, kidnapping, armed robbery, Yahoo, and also militants and the IPOB boys. And everybody's 18 to 25. We're wasting lives of youth in Nigeria. If we put out programs for them, create jobs for them, do seminars that the government can sponsor, of course they wouldn't have all these cyber crimes. I'm supporting Naira Marley because what has happened to him, I've seen it happen in America and Canada before. Here is a popular culture figure, singer, rapping about cyber fraud. He started to talk to another singer, Simi, on what Simi posted. So basically, oh, if you're a Yahoo boy, don't buy my CD. Simi's not the only one selling CD. She's not even a hot seller. If somebody like Drake said, if you're a Yahoo boy, don't buy my CD, I can see, something there. But Simi did that to Trent. So Naira engaged Simi and it went back and forth and Ruggedman came in. Naira Marley is innocent. I've seen the charges. They're bogus. 2 of them are the same. I've checked those credit cards. I've used the BIN number. There's a lot of questionable things. I don't know his lawyer. His lawyer didn't come on camera after court, but they need to speak out more, and he has a very big movement, and it's even bigger. I know what it is to be accused of something I didn't do. That's how it is with me. I was accused of writing a letter defaming a pastor when I didn't. I went through that rigorous police following me to court and everything for 6 months, 3 times. The young man is innocent. There are people who snitched on him. Yeah, I did accuse Ruggedman of allegedly being the one that filed a petition.
So do you have proof? Do you have proof of that?
Yeah, the proof is a source in the EFCC. But when you're a journalist, you can't reveal the proof. You cannot reveal the source. You have to protect the source. I have somebody at the EFCC who told me that Mr. Yakubu at the NNPC had stashes of dollars in his Boy Scouters in Kaduna about 5 years ago. He said, hey, Kemi, look at this Boy Scouter, sent me a picture. We're going to carry money out of here tomorrow. And I believe Sahara reporters too even covered that. And the money came out the next day. Am I supposed to give that officer's name out and say, oh, this is the officer? That officer tells me everything going on. Even you at Sahara's, you have your own sources there that will tell us something on condition of anonymity. But Ruggedman, instead of just confirming or denying, he created an element of suspicion. Made a post, shaded me by saying end junk journalism and closed the comments. Why? And then left the country. Right at the time when Naira was arrested. Naira was arrested with 2 others and another big artist, Zlatan. At the end of the day, there's something not right there. Why were those ones released on bail and Naira, kept in custody? We are in a time that's very charged. Today's the 22nd of May, and in 6 days, we're going to inaugurate the president again, and we're going to enter the 21st year of the democracy. So they need a scapegoat. I'm going to speak out. This is my country. I'm not American. I'm not Canadian. I'm not British. I lived 38 years in this country, but this is Nigeria. This is my country, and there's going to be a revolution very soon with these young people. They've been marginalized too far.
All right, Ma. Okay, let's move over with the situation with Iyabo Ojo. Now, I'm very sure the situation was what caused you a lot of pain,
Yes.
grief, and made you penniless and everything.
Yeah.
And you mentioned in one of your videos that you were going to reopen the case with her and sue her for perjury.
Yeah.
Do you intend doing that?
That's what I really want. I had a meeting with the Attorney General of this state, and I talked to the prosecutors. I spoke to, officers, the police prosecutor. I spoke to law and order people and everybody, and they all said the same thing. It's going to be very lengthy. If we have to charge her with perjury, the person that really broke this case will have to come to court. And there's two people that broke the case. Vivian Mechi, a Nollywood actress that Iyabo had a beef with over a car. Iyabo had a beef with Vivian Mechi over a car, and the fact that a pastor paid Vivian Mechi's son's school fees and gave her a car. The pastor hasn't done anything wrong. For what I know, he's very, very generous and helps them in Nollywood and helps the single mothers and takes care of things. I have no problem with philanthropy and pastors. However, the charging documents that I gave you at Sahara says that there's no such person as Vivian Mechi. Iyabo Ojo does not know any Vivian Mechi, and Vivian Mechi is Kemi's figment of her imagination. Vivian Mechi is the imagination of Kemi. The Attorney General of Rivers State, he has now passed away. He actually defamed me. The Rivers judiciary defamed me in those charging documents. They said a lot of things. They said I wasn't a journalist and I don't receive news tips. So who am I suing exactly? The Rivers judiciary, Iyabo Ojo, the police for kidnapping me 12 hours. I didn't know where I was going. Allowing me to see them executing people at SARS, shooting young people that they brought in for minor crimes or stealing, dragging me to a prison. I saw too much in the prison. I'm traumatized. I have post-traumatic stress, which is a flashback of traumatic events, and it's killing me. If I'm not taking diazepam for bedtime, the lights are on. I can't sleep with lights off anymore. If I'm not taking that drug, I'm probably thinking of suicide. How can I kill myself? There's a voice. It's not a voice like schizophrenia, but there's a voice that just says, Kemi, it's not even worth it. This is a crazy country. Just drink that sniper. Nobody wouldn't care. Leave a note if you want to. When you feel that way, you have to reach out for help. I went on TVC 3 times to talk about my mental health. TVC has tweets, you've seen them. Kemi being treated for anxiety and depression. Kemi PTSD. We have Kemi here for World Mental Health Day. Why am I doing all that? This is the same Kemi Olunloyo that everybody says, this woman's a mad woman. She's a psychotic. She's a drug addict. They've called me every mental disease out there when I was not. Now I am. I'm suffering PTSD, which is a combination of anxiety, depression, and everything. And PTSD is very hard to treat with drugs. So they only give me an anxiety pill, diazepam, to sleep. You can't treat it like depression. It doesn't work. If you give a PTSD victim antidepressants, they'll get worse. And it's about fight or flight. Sometimes I wake up and I say I want to go get a gun and just enter a police station and shoot everybody. Kill 9, 10 police officers.
So you're willing to go through the lengthened process just to sue her?
That process, I want to do it. But what they told me was that, I'm very emotional, but I'll tell you exclusively. Okay. If they have to open, if I have to sue Iyabo for perjury, they have to open both criminal cases. I wasn't acquitted. That's why I tell people on social media, don't say they dropped the charges. Nothing was dropped. Say they withdrew. Pastor Ibiyomi asked the police and the prosecutors to withdraw the case because I showed proof that I did not write that letter. That letter spoke about a pastor, Ibiyomi, giving people stuff, giving an actress a car meant for the church, to bring people to the church. It called Iyabo Ojo's daughter a runs girl. It called Iyabo Ojo fighting Vivian Mechi. And the letter writer also said Vivian Mechi put the pastor's DP on her page, and Iyabo was mad. So it looked like a third party wrote it, somebody who's not Iyabo or Vivian. By the time I proved to them that this is the letter, I printed it. The mediator in this case was, for the first time, I'm going to tell you exclusively, Alabo Graham Douglas. Alabo Graham Douglas is a former minister in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 4-time minister during the Abacha and Babangida regime. He's a Rivers chieftain, and he goes to Salvation Ministry. It was Alabo Graham Douglas It was his house. I stayed in Port Harcourt for 4 weeks after, and he was the one that mediated Ibiyomi and myself. I was 53, Ibiyomi was 55, and he looked both of us in the eye in a church, in Ibiyomi's office, and said, "You're like my children." He's 80 years old. Kemi has the letter that was sent to her, because Instagram confirmed that this was not written by me, it was sent to her. That's why the pastor withdrew the case. So now we have proof that I didn't write it. I just posted page 1 looking for witnesses. The next thing was when Pastor Ibiyomi read the letter, he froze. Everybody just looked at, they set her up. He looked at me and Kemi, "I don't know her. I don't know Yabochu, never met her." And I believed what I saw. That's a genuine man of God. He put his hand on me. I was healed. He's my spiritual father, I'll tell you that. All these rumors about me converting to Islam, all these bloggers make up a lot of stuff. You can't even talk 1 minute. My grandmother's a Muslim. I celebrate Ramadan with her, but she's gone now, but I'm going to celebrate Ramadan this year and fast. Automatically, the bloggers carry Kemi has converted. I was Catholic before the arrest all my life. But now I'm no denomination. I like Salvation Ministry. I can't be in Port Harcourt, but I watch Pastor Ibiyomi 7:30 a.m. every Sunday.
All right, now, okay, let's look at the problem with Davido. And in one of your videos, you said he sexually harassed you.
Yes, he did.
So how true is that?
It's true. There was a day I reported in October of 2018. I said, "What a shame. It's October again. Davido has to celebrate the death of his friends. DJ Olu and Chime and Tagbo, they died within a week. His uncle died, and also him and Chioma just broke up. We had credible information that Davido and Chioma broke up because of another woman. I was the first to report it. That was what I wrote on the tweet. After I tweeted that, the cable NG also wrote their own. And the cable, he tweeted them back and said, "See you in court, the B word. See you in court, bitch." That's what he said over there. Another journalist came to him at a concert in Ibadan. Davido asked them to beat that journalist up. That guy was beaten up to a coma almost, okay? In my own case, I tweeted that 3 friends would be remembered, his uncle, and now he's broken up with Chioma. Poor thing. That's all I tweeted. The tweet is out there. Davido replied, "Stupid woman, go oil your pussy. I'm sure you haven't had sex in a long time. It must stop." It is very common in Africa. It is very common in Nigeria for men to think that when we are annoyed at them, we're not strong women, we need a dick. We don't. Stop it. It's sexual harassment. If Davido was an artist based in America, his career is over. And that's what I did to him. He went on a US tour, a radio tour, and I made sure I tweeted every single radio station because I was in the radio business and I was a music journalist and music publicist in America. So I called people at Hot 107 everywhere that he went because he went there to portray, "Oh, I'm this Nigerian artist, blah, blah, blah." Didn't talk about his personal life. They asked him about Chioma once. He said, "Oh, no, I'm not engaged." I let them know he was a deadbeat dad. I let them know he had 3 children, he had 3 baby mothers, everything. He doesn't want them to know that aspect. But at the end of the day, I made it clear to him that he sexually harassed me. The Me Too movement will not allow that. If the video was in America, do you think the Me Too movement would be quiet? It'll be everywhere in the news. An American artist can't do that to a journalist. To a journalist? Is it because we don't have a Me Too movement in Africa? He disgraced me in front of 9 million people, and he refused to say sorry. I campaigned for 3 months, December 31st, Davido, you have to say sorry. He did not say sorry. He still haven't said sorry. And then he went to a radio station in London, said he didn't know me. That's when I decided to do Surviving Davido. Have you seen that?
Yes, ma'am.
The documentary Surviving Davido. I then decided to just tell the stories of the Adele case, the stories of his mother's death, the stories of how his mother died, the stories of his reckless life, okay, and what they told him about his mother, that his mother was poisoned at a party when his mother really committed suicide. I have audios of his mother talking to me, frustrated at home, that she's going to take this pill, take that pill. They call me in America. Vera will ask me what this tablet is, what that tablet is, when they left America. I babysat this fool when he was just 2 months old. My son was born November 22nd, 1991. Davido was born November 21st, 1992. Vera was supposed to attend Lade's birthday. She was 9 months pregnant. But on that day, the 19th, she went into labor. When she got into hospital, she didn't make my son's first birthday. At the end of the day, that 19 seems to be a significant day in their family. It's the day that little girl was born, his oldest daughter that he has abandoned, has not accepted. And it's also the day his father got divorced from Teju Adeleke, 19th. So I told Davido, 19 is your horrible number. This is 2019. Watch what's going to happen to you.
So let's get to more other problems binding the country generally. You think the government is doing enough to help the youth?
No, zero. If I'm going to rate what the government is doing, zero. We are the people that have ideas. We have no power. The people with power have no ideas. And I've always said that. If you want us to help, we are here. Hire us. Let's talk about me. I call my father. You've been in PDP, APC, every party. You've decamped left and right. You're now 84. You're chieftain. You're old at home. Why hasn't anybody hired me? Part of why I came back to this country, Daddy, is because you told me to come home. You get me this, you get me that. You did nothing. Kemi, everybody's scared of you. You're too transparent. That's what my own father's telling me. I'm too transparent. So I went to Chief Akinjide. Do you know Chief Akinjide, the PDP chieftain? He's almost 90 years old now. He's too old now. When I went to Chief Akinjide's house, he lives here in Ibadan, they said that I'm too transparent. He said to me, yeah, because they're stealing money and they know you'll catch them. My father actually illustrated it and said, your sisters are good with the government. One of my sisters was a special advisor to the Oyo State governor. Because when somebody's stealing money, they'll just walk past, look at their computer, and just go report. But you're going to go to that computer and say, hey, what are you doing? Are you on Facebook or you're balancing the budget? You'll get into them. They don't want that. Sadly, I have a first-class degree in pharmacy, journalism, and PR, and I counted 17 ministries in Nigeria that I could work. And not to talk of Oyo State or state level. Why am I not getting contracts? Why do I have to stand over the street up there at Agodi Gate, educating the public about Ebola? During the Ebola thing, I was standing in the middle of a huge crowd. They thought it was a rally. I was educating people about Ebola and the safety of street foods. I could have collected a contract for that from the state. They'll pay me money. I'll go to different areas and do that. Community activism. I'm an activist. I made myself an activist in the US, drug abuse. The Clinton administration gave me a green card. Canada, gun violence. Nigeria, community activism. They haven't used my talents.
So how will you rate the president's anti-corruption campaign?
President Buhari's anti-corruption campaign, out of 100, I rate it as a 50. President Buhari is not prosecuting people in his party. The APC has a lot of alleged looters. Some of them have been convicted. For example, there are people who have questionable finance issues in the APC, okay? And I'm transparent. I'm not going to hide stuff. When Amanpo interviewed Rotimi Amechi and asked who owned the dollars in his bank account, okay, did he answer it? No. Some people say, Amechi, Fashola, they own too much property, they do this. See, some of that is rhetoric. You have to have proof of what people own. But how come everything in Nigeria is owned by the politicians? Everything is owned by the politicians, especially the media. There were the days when we used to print newspapers. We used to write news and print the newspaper and sell them. We write the newspaper, we print it, and we sell them. Today, we sell the newspaper before we even print it. It's already been sold. They know what's going to be in it. Brown envelope journalism. Okay, this is how transparent I am. I've called my father out a few times on other things, but my father is part of that. My father does brown envelope journalism. Okay, my dad wrote an article. It said why Jonathan must not win 2015. I happened to spend the night there. I went to the bathroom, toilet. Going back to my room, I saw the article on my dad's desk, Why Jonathan Must Not Win 2015, written by my dad. Read the whole article. In the morning, a journalist came in who I wouldn't mention, okay? He came in, picked the article and took it. The next day, the article was in the Nigerian Tribune. I will mention the media house. The Nigerian Tribune had the article, Why Jonathan Must Not Win 2015, by that journalist. Is that journalism? That's brown envelope journalism, and they paid him. My dad pays them. All the NUJ boys in Oyo State, they said I'm disgruntled. No, I'm not disgruntled. They said I'm disgruntled because they didn't come to Port Harcourt prison to visit me. The NUJ never said a word in my case. It was a shame. Only the Rivers and the Imo NUJ. The Imo NUJ traveled from Owerri to see me. Those are the only 2 NUG chapters that came. The National said nothing about my case. Everybody else, they supported. At the end of the day, Oyo NUG said I was disgruntled because they didn't come to Port Harcourt. That's why I outed them. I'm not outing you for that. You've been doing it for a long time. You've been coming to my house for a long time to eat with my dad. My mom will be cooking fried chicken for you guys because you're collecting money to fake articles. And it's not just Nigerian Tribune, it's everywhere.
So on the issue of insecurity, which is one of the major problems plaguing us as a country, what solutions can you prefer to the federal government?
The solutions we could proffer to the federal government is that insecurity is an internal job. The federal government is the problem. General Abacha. I like Sonia Abacha. I know Nigeria is going to talk and say, oh, she's controversial. She's always on the side of the dictators and all that. Excuse me. They're just some dictators I like, okay? But General Sonia Abacha, I never met him, but I like who he was. He said if there's an insurgency and it lasts more than 24 hours, the government has a hand in it. He was our defense minister when he said that. If an insurgency lasts more than 24 hours, the government has a hand in it. When Jonathan was there, they had Chibok girls. When Buhari did Dapchi girls. These are not real kidnappings for me, personally. What I believe is they just kidnap gangs, organized kidnap gangs, so that the feds will give them money. There is no Leah Sharibu. I'm just telling you now. There is no Leah Sharibu. Some people say, is Kemi getting this information from her father? Yes and no. But I'm not going to tell you what the yes is, what the no is. There is no Leah Sharibu. Didn't the terrorists say they'll kill her the next day and the next day, and it's now 5 months, they still haven't killed her? Some people say, oh, it's just money. They want to use that money so they can hand it over and so that they can campaign with it. And everybody has their own, what's that word? Conspiracy theory. I don't know about the conspiracy theories, but a lot of these stuff do not exist. We're a mentally enslaved, brainwashed nation, okay? I went from 50,000 to 73,000 Instagram followers in 48 hours because of Naira Marley, because of the human rights and the civil rights. Do those kids know that their civil rights may have been violated when the EFCC raided their house? Did they have a warrant? Did they have everything? They don't know. Did they know that when they got to the EFCC that night, they're not supposed to talk without a lawyer? They don't know. Their civil rights violated. So young people are now learning from my page. Security, what we need to do, President Buhari has done the first thing, suspended all these mining licenses. Did we, the people, know they were mining licenses for gold in Zamfara? What is going on has been exposed by Reuters, the international news agency. Dubai is exporting $45 billion, dollars, not Naira, $45 billion worth of gold, Dubai, UAE, out of Africa. But Africa is not exporting. So they painted the African map white. The yellow places are the countries where the gold is coming from. Nigeria is all over there, Nigeria and Mali. We have gold in Osho State and Zamfara. So all our traditional rulers are aiding and abetting. You see what happened with Wike? Wike suspended one, aiding and abetting cultism. I met cultists in the prison who told me, traditional ruler send me, I go cut people head for House of Reps. Some people won't do House of Rep, 3 heads. Now Senate be 5 heads. So your traditional leader told you to go and kidnap and kill people. I heard that in a prison. Now look what happened. We can suspended one traditional ruler who was aiding and abetting cultists. The same thing happened in Zamfara. Some of these traditional rulers know there's gold in the ground. They see the Lebanese coming in and take it, dirty gold, to Dubai. They refine it and it becomes pure gold. And they give him a cut of it.
All right, now, okay, let's go back to the case of Iyabo Ojo. I saw a video where she said you came after her kids. Yeah. So more like you were fighting for the wrong cause when you came out of prison.
No, she was a fool. Iyabo Ojo is a fool. She doesn't have a clear brain. Iyabo just saw something I wrote on my Instagram page. I said, the letter writer even called her daughter a runs girl. All she saw there is that Kemi called my daughter a runs girl. One page in that letter said, she's actually grooming her daughter to be a runs girl. Part of what the letter writer wrote. Now, going back to Iyabo Ojo, I'm glad you said that. The whole case here is not just the Vivian Mechi that she didn't know. The whole case here is about the pastor. The pastor in the letter was Apostle Suleiman Johnson. Vivian Mechi told me it was not Ibiyomi. Somebody switched the name of the pastor. Somebody wicked who wanted to pitch an innocent pastor, Ibiyomi, against an innocent journalist. So Ibiyomi fought me left and right. Pastor Ibiyomi said to me, he said, Kemi, I want you to read 2 Timothy, the story of Saul becoming Paul and the persecution. Because there's the message in there. Sometimes people would pitch you against each other and you're both innocent. That's what they did here. Well, Vivian said the PA holds the phone. It was a Canadian investigator that I just went to that said, okay, Kemi, so we know that you didn't write it. They withdrew the charges, but I can find out who sent it. So I gave it to this Canadian investigator, a former Toronto police officer that I worked with. It was him that went to Facebook's legal department and they gave him the phone number that opened the app. It's a fake account. A phone number opens an app, the account on the app. It was a Nigerian number. The officer said he took it to Sweden, to Truecaller in Sweden, and the Truecaller people came out, and I saw the whole report. Iyabo Ojo, Pinky's group is the same register. So the whole point why I'm very mad now is that the letter that took me to prison came from Iyabo Ojo's NGO phone. Now, that's what Vivian Mechina told me on the phone. But Auntie Kemi, let me tell you the truth, that phone, Iyabo doesn't carry it. It's a PA that carries it. Okay, Beminiya Adegbola, she carries it. So, and she stole a lot of money from the NGO and she's on the run because Iyabo filed with the police. So it makes sense that Bemini is on the run, stole money and wanted to just destroy Iyabo. Look at the content of that letter. If you are a psychologist, you have to play reverse psychologist. You don't need to be a psychologist to play reverse psychologist. It makes sense that someone stole your money in the NGO, they're on the run, and they wanted to mess your life up. Why did they use Kemi and Ibiyomi? Why did they switch the pastor from Suleiman Johnson to Ibiyomi? A pastor, that part in the legal papers is correct. They don't know each other. Iyabo doesn't know Ibiyomi, don't know. Iyabo didn't get a car, Ibiyomi didn't give a car. It was Suleiman. So Iyabo has, Vivian Mechina has confirmed that she did indeed get a car. Iyabo was jealous, blah, blah, blah. Until I got the phone call. The Punch story was on Saturday. Sent her everything. Everybody saw the Punch story.
So you were not actually going after her daughter?
No. I just made a statement in my post that the letter writer in the letter that I will release on Saturday, she replied me. She said, we're waiting for Saturday for you to release. Did I not release the letter? Did Iyabo talk? She went mum. She went mute. Next post was about her private jet or her first class ticket going to Istanbul for plastic surgery. She didn't respond to it. Punch called her to respond. She said no comment. Fine. And then she said, why didn't you contact me? If you knew you wanted to know something. I brought the DM out. Did you see the DM when I was contacting Iyabo? Iyabo, there's something going on. They're even calling your daughter a runs girl. She's read everything. She didn't reply a journalist. She couldn't reply a journalist by confirming or denying. And she sent me to prison. Now she's saying 2 years later, why didn't you contact me? We've given you the receipts, the proof, Iyabo. So at the end of the day, after the Punch story, a guy called me. He said, hi, Kemi. I'm Beminiya Adegbola's brother. My sister doesn't work for the Iyabo anymore. Iyabo's a liar. My sister did not write that letter. Iyabo wrote it. So with reverse psychology, if Iyabo indeed wrote that letter, it's to finish Vivian. And now Vivian has told us the truth. Vivian exists. They said I made her up. I recorded her. And Vivian made a post, happy birthday to Iyabo's daughter, da, 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 da. In that post, you saw it. She did not comment. The daughter didn't even comment either. 7 comments, which means there's hostility still there somewhere. So now when Bemini Adegbola's brother is saying that Iyabo wrote the letter, Iyabo could have well written the letter to finish Vivian because she was jealous about the car given to Vivian, which is Vivian's motive. Vivian said, I returned the car. It was too much harassment. She returned the car. And this is the biggest part. I contacted Apostle Suleiman. Apostle Suleiman read my text. He replied me back. Kemi, are you okay? I said, I'm not okay. I want to talk to you and your wife. Bring me to wherever you are. I want to talk to you about what happened to me, how it's affected my life. And I want you to pray for me. It was just too much for me. And he said, okay, I'll get back to you. But Suleiman never got back to me. I got a strange call after the Punch story came out. A woman from Nollywood that you all know called me from Nollywood. She also owns a foundation. They're not making money in Nollywood. The films are not making money. The most they can make is a YouTube video they'll put it on. Said that I want to help you, Kemi. Apostle Suleiman supports my foundation a lot, and I know what you've been through. I want to help you. Where are you staying right now? I said, I'm staying in one of my father's properties, but I just moved to a small apartment. It's still in the same area. We want you to get a nice apartment. Go get a nice apartment, a posh one, 2-bedroom, you and your son, you know? want to get you a nice big phone, a Samsung, Android, so that you can use it for your work, because you lost everything, you know. Then I want to teach you how to make money online. YouTube videos, your videos are viral, you can, I said, hold on, I know how to make YouTube videos. I know how to make money on YouTube. It's just that I've been weak and I don't have strength. Want to give you a car, house, car, phone, money. Who sent you? Did Apostle Suleiman send you to give me money? The person told me, okay, this is how transparent I am. That person will never call me again now. The person told me that when Apostle Suleiman wanted to contact you, his team said, don't contact her. It's going to be a whole big drama. Kemi's going to have everything all over the internet, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me, if a politician or a pastor or somebody wants to give me 10, 20 million, doesn't mean I'm going to announce it. I don't announce everything. But the team is why he didn't contact me back. That's what this actress was telling me. He said, so he goes through us, foundations. I said, no, I don't want your money. I want to speak to him directly. He doesn't really like how his name is coming out all the time. I understand, you know what I mean, in this dirt stuff. Okay. So this person, this actress with the foundation now told me, she still called me till yesterday. This actress told me, she said, Kemi, we want to really help you. She actually told me, can I do a post in exchange for a car? Can you do a post about Apostle Suleiman, something nice? And also one about Iyabo, to just say, I've forgiven and forget. I forgive Iyabo and forget. I said, where are you coming from? No. How can you tell me to do a post that I've forgiven and forgiven Iyabo because I want to get a car and an apartment from you? They're posh apartments here, all over the place. 1 million, 1.5 million. They want me to go get a nice place in exchange for putting a post that I've forgiven and forget Iyabo's whatever. No, that one is legal. I'm not doing that. So to know that people, a Nollywood actress with the foundation is coming to me telling me to do a post about Suleiman, a post about in exchange for something, forget it, I don't need it. I don't. I told her. And she still called me yesterday, Kemi, I really want to help you, but since you said you don't want to talk and you don't need it, good luck. And that was it. See how Nigeria is working? They ruin your life and they want to give you all these tangible things after. And I don't need it. But so I didn't call her daughter a runskill. I was just telling her the letter writer called her daughter a runskill. And if you really look at it from the bigger picture, if she wrote that letter, she called her daughter a runskill.
On the final notes, while you're trying to get justice on Iyabo Ojo and you're trying to get back your health, you're no longer pursuing investigative journalism.
No.
What else will you be doing?
I started a brand called Kemi Talks, and you probably have seen it on Instagram. Kemi Talks, HN in Africa is still like a world news thing, but people are going to be confused. When I get better, I want to use HN in Africa on Twitter to aggregate news. Just like Nigerian news textos, just aggregating news. No blogging, no writing, nothing. Just aggregate news. Now, HN in Africa on Instagram has been closed for 1 year. I'm going to hire 3 interns, one in Nigeria, one in America, one in England, to run it, just like all these blogs. It's there, it has 50,000. So HN in Africa is still there, but I'm aggregating news, they're doing what? But Kemi Talks is my brand now, and it's an audio podcast brand. Have you seen it? Like, sometimes you won't see my face. You will see a black thing with, you know, I did something like 1807 versus fan, you know, like when they abuse each other and all that, I'll just give advice. 1807, you can't tell a fan like they should bury their child. UB Franklin versus this, Tonto versus husband. I have many of those. So that's Kemi Talks. It's actually a podcast on Anchor. Anchor.fm/Kemi Talks, but I'm also doing it on YouTube as well. So it's like I talk, okay? You see how much I talked about Naira Marley. So that's Kemi Talks is what I want to focus on now on YouTube and Instagram, you know. So I'm not pursuing investigative journalism anymore. And on the final note on Iyabo Ojo, I'm going to exclusively tell Sahara now that I don't intend to reopen the case. I'm going to let her walk free. It's not a matter of forgive and forget. I'm not forgiving and I'm not forgetting, but I'm not going to reopen the case. After consultation with the IGP, prosecutors, everybody, they have to open both the criminal cases in magistrate, federal high court. They have to open all the cases. Iyabo must come to court. Vivian must come to court. audio of Vivian talking to me, it's going to destroy a lot of people. And most importantly, the Canadian investigator who is not going to come because this was done. You know, so if he doesn't come, we can't prove much that Iyabo committed perjury, that's for sure. We can't prove much that her lawyers can come to court and say, oh no, it wasn't tracked to her phone. It did not come from her phone. They'll go back to the past again when we knew it came from her phone. And then Instagram too will have to testify. It'll be a mess. And then the final part is that the Attorney General of this state said to me, Kemi, if you want to do it, you can, but it'll cost you almost 12 years to even get any settlement, the money. It's like the Akpo case, you know, when Obasanjo was and they killed those kids. They just got settlement, what, 2 years ago? It could cost almost 12 years to even get the money. So I just decided, Iyabo, I'm going to give you a message. I'm not going to forgive and I'm not going to forget, but I'm going to let you walk free. And some people have already said, Kemi, God will handle it.